I hear this man tell the girl to go and get his gun. So then I am trying to explain. No, I was at home and yeah, but this man is like, Helen, go get my gun. And then Mina, I'm looking at Helen, like, is she gonna go and get the gun? Like, what's gonna happen? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mama Ndingoveni. So on today's video I'm going to share a story time. I decided to try out story times because my channel is a bit more on the serious side, as I am sharing my journey of living with rheumatoid arthritis. So I just wanted to share a story time with you guys, because I am more than the rheumatoid arthritis. There's more to my life than just being somebody that lives with rheumatoid arthritis. So today's story is about how I got into trouble because of my friend. So I'm not sure what I'm going to title this particular video, but I'm just gonna do the video and then I'm gonna title it a bit later on. Okay, so it was during exam time and I was writing accounting the following day. So I had been studying, just making sure that I'm going to perform well in my exam the following day. I decided I need to take a nap so that I just get rested and I can wake up a bit later on to carry on with my studies. I hadn't locked the kitchen door. I was studying in my room. So I'm too lazy to get up, go to the kitchen, lock the door, and then come back to the room. So I just decided to take a nap. I know it may seem like it was a bit risky, but like my neighborhood was not that dangerous. I know, I should have looked, but my neighborhood was not that dangerous, so I just took a nap, but the door was closed but just not locked. So I take a nap and a bit later on somebody wakes me up, and when I wake up to see who just woke me up, I'm waking up from a nap. I'm still feeling a bit sleepy and I look up, I see my friend. So I'm like, what's up, dude? And she's like, I fucked up. I'm like, okay, what did you do? Because I'm feeling sleepy, I'm tired, and here's my friend wanting help from me. So I'm like, what's up? She tells me Gucci, she was visiting her girlfriend, they had a fight, and now she needed my help. She needed my help with going to the girl's house and returning. So she had a fight with the girlfriend. She took the girlfriend's phone. Now she needed me to help her return the phone. Since she was butch, she was a tomboy basically, and Mina, I'm a girl. So just to not make the parents suspicious, she asked me to be the one that helps her return the phone. So I don't have a problem with that. She's my friend, we always together. I've seen the girl before, and couples do fight, so I don't have a problem with that. I'm like, okay, I don't think much about it. So I'm like, no problem, I'm gonna go with you. And I found out that she's already organized transport. It wasn't gonna be a hassle, and it wasn't even gonna take, it was approximately a 20-minute drive to that girl's house. We return the phone, we come back, I continue with my studies. That's what I thought. Yeah. So we go, we go. And then when you get there, my friend is like, okay, this is the house. I'm like, oh, okay. I take the phone, get off the car, I walk towards the door, and then I start knocking. So as I'm knocking, somebody comes and opens the door. And when that person opens the door, it's a man. So I'm thinking it must be the father. So he's like, who are you? I'm like, I introduce myself, I'm Nomonde. So I need to give this girl a name. Let's call her Helen. So I'm like, I'm Helen's friend. So this man is looking at me like, my mother is a witch. That's what he said to me. He said, my mother is a witch and I knew you were coming here. So I get shocked, like, okay, what's going on? What just happened? Like, what is he talking about? So I'm like, no, I'm here to return the phone. And he's like, no, my daughter told me everything that happened. I was actually waiting for you guys. I knew you were coming. So I'm like, you knew I was coming? He's like, yeah, I knew you were coming. My daughter explained everything to me and I was waiting for you. Next thing, I don't know whether he invited me inside or he actually dragged me inside the house, but I just remember I was inside the house and this man was telling everybody that I was disrespectful towards him at the door, and his ancestors brought me there. Like, it was a lot of confusing stuff all at once. So I look around and there's this guy and there was this other lady. So those two were both neighbors, and then there was his wife and Helen was also there. So I'm there now sitting confused, looking around, looking at everybody, wondering what's going on. Yeah, well, so okay, I'm sitting there trying to figure out what just happened, because like a moment ago I was there to return a phone and quickly get back to my friend. Now I'm inside stranger's house and I don't know what's going on, and he's talking about how I disrespected him. He's talking about witches. There was a lot going on, so I'm just trying to find out, okay, what's going on here. This man is saying that, then they start explaining to me that their daughter Helen explained to them that as he was coming back from school, she got off a taxi and then there were some thugs following her. So they actually followed her all the way to her house. When they got there, they vandalized the house and they took her phone. They left. Those thugs are me and my friend. So I'm the thug. Me and my friend are the thugs that followed Helen to her house and took her phone. I'd never been so confused in my life. I was like, what just happened? Like, what happened to you hiding the fact that you lost your phone to your parents? Like, you invited a lover over to your home and you had a fight, they took your phone. Like, couldn't you find other ways to lie to them than to say, like, than to vandalize your own home and to lie to your parents and say that, like, thugs followed you all the way from the road where you got off a taxi all the way to your house, they vandalized there and they only took your phone? So I was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was just returning the phone. So as I'm trying to explain what happened, like because I didn't know much, I was just trying to explain what I knew. I hear this man tell the girl to go and get his gun. So then I am trying to explain, no, I was at home and this man is like, Helen, go get my gun. And then I'm looking at Helen like, is she gonna go and get the gun? Like, what's gonna happen? So I'm looking at Helen, I'm looking at the man, her father. I'm looking at the neighbors, I'm like, what's going on? So Helen was like, she had a nice booty, she had a big booty. So it's like, when her father told her to go and get the gun, I don't know, she seemed excited about that idea. She was so excited. Like, she was looking at me like, well, my father's got a gun and she's gonna shoot you. What you gonna do about it? And now I was like, I'm not gonna do anything about it. Like, I don't have a father. So yeah, what am I gonna do? I'm looking at her like, are you really gonna get the gun? And she's shaking that booty all the way to her father's room. She went to get her father's gun. Like, she was shaking her booty. Like, she was so excited about the idea of getting a gun for her father so that he can scare me. She went all the way to her father's room, looking excited and proud, and then she came back. And I'm sitting there. I'm an 18-year-old. I remember very well I was wearing this black dress with like a bit of white stripes near on the sides. Oh, and I'm sitting there looking so innocent. Like nobody could believe that I'm a thug. But that man decided to believe that on that day. Helen goes and she comes back with a gun. It was like it had like a wooden handle. I don't know like different types of guns, so I wouldn't even explain what type of gun it was, but it was a small gun with like a wooden handle. And she comes back with it, hands it over to her father, and he takes the gun and he's like, today you are going to tell me what went down. Like, why did you come and vandalize my house? I was so scared. Like, I wanted to cry. Like, I was thinking, like, a few moments ago, I was studying for my final year exams, and now I am here in this strange people's house, and like there's a gun involved. Like, I could be shot, I could die. Yeah, but I was worried. Like a moment ago, I was worried about like passing my matric, and now I'm worried about life. Like, am I gonna live to see tomorrow? I didn't know. Like, am I gonna live to see tomorrow? Like, what's gonna happen to me? I didn't know. I was scared. I didn't have a phone with me. All I heard was like Helen's phone. Like, when I got off that car to go return Helen's phone, all I heard was the phone. So obviously now they took the phone. It was just me, no phone, nothing. And I was scared. I didn't know what to do. So Helen's father is holding that gun and demanding the truth from me. So I'm scared. Like, I decide because I don't know anything. Like, I didn't know anything. I look around, and this next door lady just seems like, she seemed kind. She seemed like she was believing my story. So I look at her, I see a sort of a mother figure at that point, and I'm like trying to explain to her now, hoping that she will believe me. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Now I'm telling the truth. Like, there's a gun involved, guys, and I'm 18, and this man, that man was scary, and he was talking about witches, and his daughter at that moment seemed like an evil spoiled brat. So I was like, I'm not protecting anyone. If there's a chance that I'm going to save my life, I am going to do that. So I decide that, you know what, I'm going to tell them the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So I decide, you know what, this is what happened. I tell them, like, guys, this girl is actually dating my friend, and they were visiting each other. They had a fight. I was asked to just return a phone. Yeah, so I'm like, I'm begging that lady to lend me her phone so I can call my friend. Like, I'm just saying, the only person who has the whole story is my friend. If you could just lend me your phone so that I can call her. Like, there's nothing else I can think of right now, just to call my friend to come here and answer like to these people's questions, because now I don't know anything. I was trying to help. Yeah, I was trying to help this girl get back her phone, but now it's biting me in the ass. So this lady is like, okay. She lends me her phone. Fortunately, I knew my friend's number by heart. So I take this lady's phone. I call my friend. As soon as my friend picks up the phone, I am rambling like my friend. I'm telling her, like, you need to come here. There are guns involved. Like, I'm just trying to say everything all at once before I run out of time or before they take the phone back. So my friend is like, okay, I'm coming. Luckily enough, my friend didn't run away from that situation. As soon as she realized she put me in trouble, and she decided she was gonna come back, and I'm so grateful for that. Like, that shows me that she is a true friend, because she made sure she knew that she put me in trouble, and so she made sure that she rectifies that situation. So from the point where I was talking to my friend to the point that, because at some point now we were outside, I don't remember what happened in between, from where I was talking to my friend telling her she needs to come, to the time when now we were outside, because I remember after talking to my friend telling her she needs to come, now I remember us outside. And everyone was outside, and I was talking to Helen's father. He was telling me to explain the situation to him, and I was doing that. I was explaining to him that Helen and my friend are dating. My friend was visiting Helen at his house, and I don't know what happened. They had a fight. My friend took the phone, and now I got in the mix because I was just asked to help in returning the phone to Helen's possession. That's my only crime. So this man gets upset about that situation. He kicks me on my leg. Like, he kicked me so hard, like it was so, like, my leg bruised instantly. As soon as he kicked me, my leg bruised. So now I'm in pain and I'm confused. Why is this man hitting me? I just told him what he wanted to know. Like, I am not the one dating his daughter, so why is he kicking me? So soon after that, my friend arrives, and as my friend arrives, I'm so relieved, but I'm still scared, but I'm relieved because at least the person with the answers is now here. My friend arrives, and as I'm trying to talk to my friend, communicate with her, she's on the ground. I'm not sure whether she was kicked or she tripped and fell. I don't remember, but I remember she was on the ground. Next thing, she's standing up, and there is like soil all over her face, like dust all over her face. Now there is a dog. I don't know what happened. Maybe they were trying to scare her with the dog, or they were trying to get the dog to bite her, or something like that. But there was a dog there, and my friend was screaming. Luckily, it didn't bite her, but I think they were trying to scare her or get the dog to bite her. So next thing, there are some parts in this story that I don't remember clearly, because I remember next thing we were inside the house, and this man is trying to find out exactly what is going on, like what happened, because his daughter told him she was mad. People followed her all the way from the road where she got off the taxi all the way to the house. They vandalized the house and they took the phone, and that's what puzzled me, because why would people follow you all the way to the house, vandalize the house, only to take the phone? Why didn't they take like TVs, computers, stuff like that? Why didn't they take the phone as soon as she got off the taxi? It didn't make sense, but the parents believed her for some reason. And so now they are starting to see that their daughter's story doesn't make sense. My friend at some point was talking to the girl's mother, and she was explaining what they're dating, telling her what, okay, she came to visit me on this day. So this girl went to one of the schools in town, and she was actually boarding there. So I think she would go home on like weekends. So whenever she would visit my friend, she would go home then. Even if it was not a weekend, she would go to my friend's house. Then from there, in the afternoon, she would go home, and she usually goes home like on the weekends. So let's say she visited my friend on a Wednesday, so she wouldn't spend the night at my friend's house. So maybe later about 5, so she would then go home. So as my friend is explaining to the girl's mother, was okay, she visited me on this day and this day and this day and this day. The mother now is connecting the dots. Actually, my daughter came home on this day. She was supposed to come on the weekend, but on this Wednesday, she actually did come home. Yeah, but she's now connecting the dot because no man, my friend's story does make sense because how would she know? How would she know? So if the following week she came home maybe on a Thursday, the mother would remember that. And my friend, as she was telling her, the mother is like, yeah man, you are telling the truth because on this day on this week she came home on this day. Yabo njalo njalo. So that's how the mother starts believing the story. Good to know these people are actually not thugs. My daughter was actually dating. So yeah, she's connecting the dots. You can see with these people are not lying to me. My daughter is actually dating this one, and on this day she did come back home. On this day she did come back home and stuff like that. Yeah, and so she starts believing the story. The mother is disappointed, of that situation. Obviously, no parents wants their young child to date. The father is furious. He was furious. He was furious when he kicked me on my leg. Remember when we were outside and I was explaining the situation to him and he kicked me. He actually said to me, "Senda manyala ekailake," which basically means like we are just doing nonsense in his house, and he was just so disgusted by the whole situation. So the mother is disappointed and the father is angry and disgusted. So we are sitting there and this man is not budging. He's like he's still not like trying to believe what his daughter is dating. So he wants to get stuck in that situation of saying my friend and I are thugs. So now his rage is like directed more towards my friend, and he's like, you are not going anywhere. He's like, to me, I can go, but my friend is not going anywhere. And Nami, I'm thinking my friend has already matriculated. I need to write tomorrow. So I decide, okay, my friend, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna explain the situation to your family, and then I'm gonna go home and continue studying. Yeah, because I'm still in matric and my friend has already matriculated. The driver takes me back, and when I get home I decide, you know what, I need to start going by going to my friend's house, explaining the situation to her family, and then I can go home and continue with my studies. I go there, I explain the whole situation to them. After explaining the situation, they're like, I need to go back with them. I'm like, I'm not going back to that house, because at that point I was already traumatized by the whole situation. I was traumatized. I'm not going back there. I have explained the situation to you. You can go back with the driver, but I don't want to go back there. And besides, I'm writing tomorrow. They're like, no, Monday, we're just gonna get them, and then, we're gonna come back quickly. And I'm like, okay. But because my friend's family was like family to me. So I'm like, okay. They didn't know the situation. I knew the situation, but I decided to trust them because my friend had two big brothers. So I'm like, they're gonna get there and this man is gonna scream. Guys, because that situation never happened. That man never budged him. That man. So we get into the car with the driver. We go back to Helen's house. When we get there, my friend's family introduces themselves. They're trying to find out what the situation is. Her brothers are so furious. Like, that man is like, this one is not going anywhere. Okay, so I get to Helen's house with my friend's family. They are trying to reason with the father. They're trying to reach an agreement, but he's not budging. And I'm just thinking we're not gonna go anytime soon. I'm thinking I've failed, because I'm thinking with maths, and like it's so difficult. So my only hope was accounting. With the other subjects, I knew I was gonna make it, but between maths and accounting, like accounting was my only hope. So now that I'm here stuck at Helen's house and I'm writing the exam tomorrow, I just thought I was not gonna make it, and obviously the driver was not gonna take only me, take only me home and then come back for the rest. So I had to wait for everyone. I had to wait for people to reach agreements. So I was just so worried about that situation. Okay, so they're talking, and Helen's father is not budging. He's like, everyone can go, but my friend is not going anyway. And obviously, her family is not going to leave her behind while we all go, because that man, like, seemed like he was not okay in the head, and he scared me. Yeah, well, I was talking about witches, like a lot of things. And there was a point on that night where he was telling us about how his mother is a witch and how she can strike people with lightning. And as soon as he said that, like lightning struck, I'm not even lying about the situation. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. Like everyone around me was so scared, and my friend's mother was afraid of lightning. So we were all frightened. My friend's brothers were so furious because they want to go, but they can see that this man is crazy, and now everyone is just sitting there trying to reason with him. Obviously, Helen's mother at that point could see that her daughter was a liar and she was just a little evil child, like spoiled brat. But because her husband is so scary, she could not say anything. So we're now sitting there trying to just make this man see reason so that we can be able to go. But he's not budging. He's telling us about his witch mother. Like, it was a lot. I'm looking at the time and it's now 2 a.m. and we are still there. I had accepted good, I failed matric. I was just thinking of alternatives. I'm thinking I'm not gonna be able to work at a shop. I'm thinking, what am I gonna do with my life? I'm not even thinking of rewriting or redoing matric or upgrading, stuff like that. I'm thinking I failed, I'm not gonna make it, and I was so stressed. They're still talking, and I don't even remember what the conversations were at that point, because all I was thinking about was my paper. I was thinking what is gonna come out, like Abu FIFO and all of those things. I'm thinking, a balance sheet, what's gonna happen? And like Helen's father is not budging. So I cannot remember what happened. All I remember is that we were leaving. I remember us getting into the car, leaving. So, how they reached an agreement, I don't remember. All that was in my head was my accounting paper the following day. Like, even the same day, because 2 a.m. it was the next day already. So, we got into the car, we left. It was after 2 a.m. We left. I slept at my friend's home. I was so worried about my exam, and I was so traumatized about the situation that just occurred. So we get to my friend's house. I didn't even want to study at that point. I had given up. I just went straight to bed, woke up the following day. I took a bath, got into my school uniform, and I was so hopeless. Like, I'm just going to school to write, because they're gonna make sure every matriculant is there writing. At that time they used to fetch matric learners if they could see they are not at the center and all of that. So I took a bath, got dressed, went to school. As I was walking to school, I was so scared. That situation truly traumatized me, because I kept looking over my shoulder, thinking that Helen's father is just going to appear from nowhere. I was so scared. So I get to school, I go write, and the paper was fine, but not as I wanted to perform. As soon as I finished writing, I quickly rushed back home so that my friend and I could have a discussion about the events that occurred the previous night. So we were there talking about the situation. Now I could laugh about that situation because like it's done. I've written my paper. What's done is done. All I could do was just wait for the outcome, whether I've passed or not. So there was not much I could do about that situation. All I could do was laugh about that situation because it had already passed, it was over. And then my friend and I are discussing this situation, and she just explained that she was never going to get back with Helen, and I was so glad about that because at that point I hated the girl. I know the person that traumatized me was her father, but the fact that she seemed excited about the gun part, it really tricked me off, and I didn't want to see her ever again. And if my friend had continued dating her, it meant I was going to see her because we were next door neighbors and we were so close, and I didn't want to see that girl. I just felt like she was an evil spoiled brat. The way she handled that situation, I know it could be a situation that she was scared of her father and all of that, but the excitement that she had about going to get that gun for her father to threaten me with, something was off about that situation. So yeah, my friend just had that discussion, and she just like swore she was never gonna see that girl ever again. Her brothers were so furious. They was like, when are you always getting into trouble? And you know, we laughed about the situation. Obviously her mother and brothers were not happy, and yeah, that's it, guys. So that's how my friend got me into trouble. I was almost killed. I almost failed my matric. So there are more story times that involve this particular friend of mine, where she got me into trouble. There are like, I can think of like 3 at the moment where she got me into trouble. So yeah, I think I'm gonna share those as well. So thank you so much for watching this video, and please do watch my previous videos and look forward to my next videos. Bye.